Hello, everyone, and welcome to SPL Live. I'm Anthony Mariona, and I am joined by the wonderful Mr. T. Watson. It's been great to be back with another episode, and this one's going to be jam-packed as we close out week one with a 24-person tournament hosted at your shop, CCC. I want to start off with T. What was week one? What was week one like for you? You played at a handful of tournaments, and I believe you TO'd the largest event of the week with the 24 trainers showing up to CCC. So, what was week one like?
Week one's been great. We've had a nice turnout at every shop so far. What was it? Friday at USG, it was poppin', jam packed. I want to say we had like 22 players at USG. Saturday, I don't know what happened Saturday. I'm gonna be completely honest.
You were there.
I know, and I'm completely out of it. You gotta remember, in between last week's SPL Live and going to USG, I gave myself another concussion.
This man is playing hurt. So for anybody that missed week one,
I still have a concussion currently. It is not fun. Yeah, so Friday happened. Don't remember what happened Saturday. Sunday, there was the league challenge at GE, so no points awarded there. Monday at Hammerhead, though, 23 players showed up, and that was actually great. And then today, 24 players at Comic Command. It's actually just been phenomenal having the league back. I'm so excited to see everyone get a lot of good games going, a lot of trash talking going. The competitive spirit just kind of, yes, I'm really excited, and it's been dope so far.
Yeah, and see, I share the same thoughts with you. This season has had the largest turnout for us when it comes to registration. We're close to 50 players, trainers, which we haven't had in the past, and we've also. This just brings out the most competition that we've had, because not only are we getting new trainers on board, but we're also getting returning trainers like Chris Davis, which is really exciting. We're getting other competitive players as well. I mean, we have two people, China and Tanner, who are both going to NAICs, and they're both sponsored by USG. So, you're talking about high-quality players playing in a league that we set up for fun that is turning into more and more competitive as the weeks go by. We're also seeing a lot of new faces pop up, with some of our top picks starting off a little bit slower than I think either one of us would have thought. But we'll go ahead and get started. Like we talked about, we had a new shop open up this week, Hammerhead. Congratulations to Adrian and all the guys there. Really looking forward to seeing what's going to be available there when it comes to turnout and so on. But we got off to a really great start. But T, what was the experience like at Hammerhead, be it that it was the newest shop that just opened up?
It was actually really good. If you've been to Elysium previously before they joined Hammerhead, you know the quality experience that they give. It was just as equal there at Hammerhead, plus the space so much bigger, my guy. So much bigger. I know they were saying they have plans to add some monitors so they can show the pairings on the monitors while people are in the little play area. But that play area is huge. If you guys have seen the studio, just extend the studio by another half. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I gotta get out there. I mean, and that's the thing. The wonderful thing about Elysium was the vibe. It was a really friendly place, very welcoming to anybody that was interested in playing games and just having a good time. Sounds like Hammerhead is kind of bringing that same energy to the table.
We had 23 players there playing Pokemon. I think they had another 20 behind us playing Magic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So it was big space. So
yeah, and that's one thing, once again, that Adrian's always been good at. He's always a wonderful TO, and like I said, very welcoming, very inviting, helpful, friendly. You can't really get too many people that are better than him, and this is just it's a nice thing to hear that this shop is getting off on the right foot. Moving from there, we talk a lot about the amount of players that have been coming out and the people that we've been seeing. What are your thoughts on some of the top players that we talked about so far? And I'm going to let you go ahead and start this off with Mike. Or better yet, know something? Go ahead and let me hear about your thoughts on Chris Davis. He was in your top 5. The man, he wound up, I think, showing up to 1 local this week, right?
He did.
Yeah.
He showed up to 1 local. He got 1 win, 2 ties. No L's,
yep.
But that's still only 5 points. Rough-ish start to the week. He didn't go to the kickoff, so he doesn't have that big jump in points like everyone else has. But I still think he's gonna be up there when we end it all. But slow start. He tied me in the last round. What was it? Monday. So.
Okay.
He's a great player.
Yeah, definitely that.
Yeah, great player. Really good looking. He's fine. He's fine.
So, and that's the funny thing is when I think of other top players, these are the people that come to mind are the ones that have won previous years, whether it be the points championship or the championship in itself. Mike Moreno is someone that I think about. He was the one that helped lead off the kickoff at the beginning of the season, which huge shout out to you, Mike. Thank you for that. I don't think that he did all that well at the kickoff, and then opening day at USG was a huge struggle for him as well. He wound up playing birds, and that deck just didn't give him.
That deck just doesn't really work.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even through all that, the man was still able to pull off a trainer battle that he won. Which was really, really cool. He
with birds.
Yeah,
he won the trainer battle with birds.
Yes, against Tanner.
Tanner.
From my understanding, that entire event unfolded very poorly for Tanner, which is unfortunate. Didn't even really get to play the game. Birds just got out to a really fast start, and Mike was able to sweep it up from there.
Yep.
But yeah, the guy coming in, like I said, he started off a little bit rough, but found himself nice and firmly placed in 5th place right now with 14 points, tied with a handful of other people. So really looking forward to seeing what he has to do with the rest of the season. He wasn't necessarily one of my top 5 personally, but I always knew that Mike is always capable of doing incredible things, hence the reason why he was the first person to ever win the points championship along with the SPL championship. Another interesting one, and I would love to hear your thoughts about this, is Henry. Henry showed up to USG. Wound up not doing as well as he wanted to do. But what's your take on that?
I think Henry has an excuse. So while Henry and I were playing the last round, we had just finished a pretty quick game. Actually, it wasn't that quick. It was like a 20-minute game 1 in the Lost Box Mirror. Henry found out that he qualified for Worlds.
Great job, Henry.
Yeah. So he said, I can't think. I'm going to scoop my cards and go home. And that is exactly what the kid did because he has a world invite.
Yeah. And this is a really special thing for us. We're all trying to come together to figure out how we could celebrate Henry and his world's invite. We're working with some of the shops and everybody to see if maybe we could get him a gift.
Like a gift?
Yeah, to represent not only SPL, but to show the pride that we have for him as well. So once again, just huge shout out. That's so awesome.
Congrats,
so proud of the kid. Moving on from there, like we talked about, we've started the week. We've seen kind of the lay of the land to start off the season. There's some surprises. There's some not so surprising starts to this. But if we get into the top 14 of the season right now, what we're really looking at is the players that have kind of gotten themselves off to an early lead. The big one that who was calling us out at USG Friday night was Terry. Terry leads the league right now with 15 points. He's tied with Abel as well as Francis Bautista and Titus Wu.
A 4-way tie for first.
Yes, which is really, really incredible. These players came to play and starting off the season really, really well. T did wind up taking 3 points from Terry to finish the week at CCC, which bumped him down a little bit. If he didn't lose those points, he would have had three more, 18 points.
At 18.
To be exact. So, that right there shows
a menace.
Yes, shows a really nice bottleneck. Now, the funny thing is how each of them have gotten there. Terry has 3 wins on the season, not including his kickoff bonus points from playing in the event. Bell has 15 points, but he's doing it off of 2 wins, two losses. Which once again, kickoff points as well for him, I believe. Francis Bautista, he won the kickoff. Sitting there with 15 points, but unfortunately, the rest of the week hasn't necessarily been that great for him. 1-1-2. So his top performance isn't necessarily right there, but those bonus points definitely helped him out. And Titus, who's surprising, I know a huge fan favorite for some people in the league. But 2-2 right now, kickoff points as well. So, like I said, we have a bottleneck for first place. It's really, really close, but that doesn't mean that second place, second, or I guess technically it'd be 5th, 6th, and 7th aren't right there as well, with Mike, Andy, and Tanner all having 14 points. Anything surprising about that group?
I'm honestly not surprised. Actually, I'm semi-surprised because I saw Mike's kickoff results. We're not kind to that man, but after winning a trainer challenge and getting some points for the first week, I didn't know he'd be up there. That was quick. But seeing Sash, Andy, actually, I'm only not really surprised, maybe mildly surprised, but he's also a really decent player, so I expect to see him up here a little bit. Tanner, not surprised at all. He is a great player, needs to believe in himself a little bit more, but I think he is doing phenomenal this season.
I mean, Tanner is one of the players, of course, that is getting sponsored by USG for the NAIC. He's very sharp. He very thorough with his play. I mean, we've labbed against him. I played against him on multiple occasions. Love the guy. I think he has a really sharp mind. Good place right now. And I'm really kind of looking forward to see what he does, not only in the SPL, but also the NAIC. There's a lot of faith going into him and China. But really, really looking forward to that. Moving from there, we're going to kind of round out the top 14, but we have Duncan, Luis, and you, fan favorite T. Watson, all sitting there with 10 points. Once again, you guys all got there a little bit differently. Duncan had a really, really good night at USG on Friday. He went 3-0-1. I was his only tie to end the final round.
Oh, I didn't even know that because it was brain dead.
Yeah, concussion. Playing through the toughness. We gave him the smell salts, right? Everything like that to keep this guy going. But yeah, I mean, he came in. He was playing Arctina. Did really, really well. We had a pretty strong match. I thought I could get him at the very end, but unfortunately I just didn't have the ability to attach and switch at the same time in order to get off my Greninja. And even Duncan was sitting there kind of laughing, going like, "Oh, you got it." I'm like, I don't know. I don't really have too much. But outside of that, it was a really strong showing by Duncan, who, once again, one of my top 5 players. I think he's going to, be there at the end. And once again, with him being done with school, I think this is going to be the year where he's really going to kind of go on a tear in the playoffs.
Luis, where he can actually show up to the playoffs.
Luis has 10 points as well. This one, I'm not saying that I don't love Luis, because I know he's one hell of a player. When he could get everything going for himself, he's usually good at picking a solid deck and so on. But the man sitting at 10 points, he has a record right now though of 1-1-2. So I believe he wound up getting points.
So 5 points and then 5 points from the kickoff.
And then T, I mean, what can I say? You put yourself number 1. I still believe that T's going to, of course, be there at the very end, like he normally is.
I missed the kickoff, and I'm up here.
That's pretty crazy. And then I'm going to go ahead and let you take this next group, which this is a huge group of players right now that are tied. They all have 9 points.
That's crazy. We're talking about that it's them, though.
Scott, Dylan, and Luke
all tied at 9 points.
All tied. But then again, if you keep going, you have Francis, Corinne, Tyler, Vince, all sitting there tied at 9 points. All of them split a little bit differently, but yeah, just really, really crazy how you kind of look at how all these things break down. It's really funny. What's your take? I mean, 9 points.
I think it's interesting because a majority of this last group of players play different decks like completely.
Yes.
Scott kind of just plays like straightforward, like Arceus decks. He doesn't want to do any of the complicated Lost Box stuff. Luke and Dylan both on Lost Box. Francis has been on water and will be on water till the day that man dies.
Is this facts?
So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but that man has been on a tear with this water deck, so I love it. Seeing Corinne up here, a newer player, has been playing, Mew, Guardy.
Shout out Corinne. Gave me a non-hollow jet energy when I needed it, and no one else would hook me up. So, thank you.
You're too nice. He didn't deserve it.
Not at all.
But yeah, seeing them up there, warms my heart a little bit, having a newer player up here with us. Tyler as well, new to the group, but feels really experienced. Has been playing Lost Box, Guardy. Yeah, I love Tyler too. I can't. He was my first loss today. I can't stand that kid. But no, I think this is an exceptional group of players, including Vince. Vince got second today at CCC with 24 players
What
there.
did he play?
Greninja V Union with Bax Caliber. That man came for blood today. I didn't even know. Like, I need the sauce now, apparently. But yeah, it's an exceptional group of players, and I'm just glad to be mentioned with them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the top 14 guys right now that we have. These are the trainers that we're all kind of gunning after, as once again, the championship series takes the top 14 players, the elite 14 players in the points race, and puts them in that championship tournament for the right to become the SPL champion of our league of season 3. So this has been one of the fun parts. Right now we're going to go ahead and move it along over to best in format, where we take a look at our top 5 list of the most interesting things that we have going on in the league right now. And with week 1 in the books, I think it's going to be fun to look at some of the more surprising trainers that we have going into week 2. And T, I'm going to go ahead and let you kick it off. Let's go ahead and hear your top 5 list and how ridiculous it is.
My top 5 list for surprising trainers. These are trainers that have, just stood out to me with kickoff results and first week results. I'm going to go, top to bottom. Number 5, I have Titus Wu. Titus has been on what I like to call jank decks ever since I've met him, but he has stayed true to form, and he has shown that it can work given the right circumstances, the right meta, the right situation. And even at I believe the league challenge, he went 4-0 undefeated at the league challenge at Great Escape. So, congrats to him. But he's been playing like a weird Lugia deck. Well, I like to call it a weird Lugia deck. It's really unconventional. And then recently he's been playing this Arceus Urshifu deck that is just, get out of here with that. Like, come on. How do you play something like that but then go 4-0 with it? Like, man's been playing crazy decks and just doing exceptionally well. So Titus definitely deserves a spot on this list. Number 4, Francis Bautista. Francis Bautista is a surprise, kind of, for me. He has always been a decent player, good player, always playing wacky decks, but coming out from the gate, winning the kickoff, you gotta give the man props for that. I can't say anything else.
What with Zorobox?
With Zorobox, he clapped me at USG on Friday. So, I gotta put the man on my list if he can take my head like that. So, Francis, right there, number 4. Number 3, I don't necessarily want to say it's a surprise, but, it's good to see a breakout performance from Tyler. We've already known that Tyler is a good player. We've tested with him a lot. Huh?
I haven't known that.
Oh, okay. Never mind. But we've tested with him. We've talked with him a lot. We've had some theory go back and forth with him for the last few months. It's great to see a breakout performance from him. I expect him to go far in the league as well. So, Tyler, right there, number 3. Number 2. My number 2 is actually Carlo. Carlo De Castro, 4-0 today with Miraidon at CCC. Just when you think the deck is dead, this man was like, hold up. Let me get 3 electro generators off of research and then hit all of them. I mean, when you can play the cards like that, ain't no stopping him. So, Carlo, really good player. He made day 2 at Fresno, correct? Yep. Made day 2 at Fresno. So, it's great to see, you know, a standout performance, especially today. So, Carlo at number 2. And then my number 1, since he wanted to talk all that trash, he came and backed it up after I didn't put him on my top 5 list. I'm going with Terry, number 1, because 1, he's in first place right now. But
correction, Carlo's actually in first place.
Oh, did you fix it?
Yeah. Forgot to put Carlo's stats in.
Oh my God.
Carlo is 4-0.
Update.
16 points.
Wow. Crazy. All right. Well, Terry's still second. Terry's still second. It's okay. I'm sorry, Terry, for taking those points from you. I love you very much.
He would be in first.
He would be in first. But yeah, Terry definitely came for blood. He went 3-0 over at Hammerhead this week. Playing, Chiampo. And he also had really good showing at the kickoff. I expect him to also do well. I feel like this top 14, when the season ends, is going to be crazy. So I can't really predict who's all going to be there. But I expect Terry to be somewhere in there. I'm not letting him get first because I'm coming for that. But, he's going to be there. So that's my top 5. What about you, Ant?
So I think your list is pretty solid. I tend to agree with a lot of it. Terry, I don't want to say is surprising because I hold Terry at high regards. Terry, I think you're great, and that's why
he's trying to butter you up.
I'm wrong, and I don't like to admit it, but you got something. For me, my top 5 list for most surprising is going to be surprising. But I think it's surprising in the sense that we match on the first one, Titus. I've seen him play. I've seen the crazy decks that he plays. The fact is, he's doing pretty well to start the season off. The man is in 5th place with the correction fixed on the standings. 15 points. It's hard to quantify that in the sense that you see what he plays, you wonder how he does it, but he just does it.
Yeah.
So there is a huge shout out to that. You're bringing a uniqueness to the league that we don't really see. You kind of keep certain players on their toes, and I think that's going to be something that could potentially do really well for you as the season progresses, as long as you can keep up the level of play with the jank decks. Moving from there, Corinne Weasley. Is the name.
Yes.
And they're new to the league, which is really exciting to see a new player pop up. They're in the mix with everybody else sitting there with 9 points. I know that the season for the weeks haven't necessarily been the best, but as time goes on, I think they're going to progress and do better and better and better. And it could be just that the kickoff was the thing that helped boost those numbers.
Yeah.
But at this point, you still had to have done well at the kickoff in order to get those numbers.
Yeah.
And you did. And that's where we're at with that. So I think
Facts.
Corinne being new to the league with the amount of competition that we have is something that's definitely going to be surprising for me. Be it that I've never seen them play before.
Yeah.
It's still something that I just go off of the information that I have, and that's what I can say. Moving from there, Vince. I don't know him. All I know about him is that he usually sells a lot of stuff on Facebook. But
Facts.
outside of that, the guy came into CCC today. From what I heard, he came to play. The Greninja play seemed like it was the right one, being able to take multiple prizes, especially off of Lost Box players, cheesing them or griefing them as much as you did. So there's a huge respect for that. I think it's really cool. I've always loved Greninja V Union. I thought it was a really funny card. You can't poison it. You can look at your opponent's hand and do other things. So I think that's really creative, really funny, and pretty neat. 9 points as well. It's something to be proud of. From there, Chris Davis. I know he didn't go to the kickoff, and there was a reason for that, which, it does make sense. But still, the fact that Davis is sitting there with 5 points to start the season, I do know that that's gonna pick up. He was my number one choice to win the league, so I'm still, keeping my my feather in that cap for as long as possible.
Over me?
Yeah, 100%. But outside of that, I still love it, baby. But outside of that, I mean, it was just one of those things where it wasn't necessarily expecting it. I mean, not to tease, I did better than Davis this week, and I know for a fact that is not going to be something that's going to stay consistent throughout the season, as I griefed the hell out of people at USG on Friday as well with my Gudra Lost Box Spiritomb deck. Hello, Carlo. But outside of that, I think Davis starting off a little bit slower, especially during the first season when he kind of shot off like a rocket, is something that I'm going to keep my eye on going forward. And then from there, I think it's Mike. Mike wasn't in my top 5 for the trainers that I thought were going to be the most successful, given the fact that I was just going off of the win statistics for the league. But the simple fact is, I seen Mike struggle with birds at USG on Friday, but the guy is still towards the top of the list and standings at 6th place with 14 points. Now, the thing that's smart about Mike is he's going to pick his battles very wisely. He went into a situation where he knew he could get some quick points with birds, because if that thing gets off, it's very difficult to stop right away. And he took his shot. He got it. He got it against one of the better players as well with Tanner. And I think that's where actually both of you were really smart with your plays with the trainer battles this week. So I can't wait to see how that works out. But that's my top 5 list. I think it's pretty solid for the most part. I think both of us were surprised by these players or these trainers and what they were able to accomplish or not accomplish at the start of the season. And I think we can agree, we're really looking forward to seeing what they do for the rest of the season.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, all right. So that's going to wrap it up, guys, for our best in format. Now we're going to go ahead and kick it over to Deck Out, which is the final portion of our program. And this is just going to be us going over the last few hot topics, just to kind of end things as quickly as possible. So first things first, stickers and keychains will be available by the end of this week. Super excited about that. Remember, stickers are free to everybody that joined the league, so you just have to ask me or T when you see us, and those should be popping up on the screen as we celebrate our 3rd season and our logo change, as well as bringing back a classic logo with a little bit of pride in the sticker. We're really looking forward to doling these out to everybody that's interested in getting them, and we'll be carrying those with us as we go along. The other thing is the SPL trainer keychain. That one, once again, is going to be your way of making sure that you get your discounts from CCC, Elise, or Hammerhead and USG, which we're really excited about it. From there, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to T to talk about Monday's changes with adding 2 new locals.
All right, you guys, we got some changes coming. All right, so now, Mondays. We know we originally had it as an off day, but we have a new shift in the schedule. So we will be having both Hammerhead and Adventures on Mondays available for league points, which means they both start at 6:30. You can choose which shop.
Adventure starts at 6.
Oh, Adventure starts at 6. All right, so Adventure starts at 6. Hammerhead starts at 6:30. You can choose which shop you want to go to. As long as the tournament fires, you are able to get points from whichever tournament you choose to go to. So that's a great change. It's more opportunity for players to play, be able to get points, and I like it.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
I will also like to add that Hammerhead will also still be available on Thursday. So if you guys haven't already seen the SPL Live hand shuffle quick video, I covered the basic schedule going forward. The week is going to start at Hammerhead on Thursdays, and the week will end on Tuesdays at USG. Any locals that happen in between those dates are available to earn points as long as the locals are not cups, challenges, pre-releases, or any other type of special tournaments that are outside the standard format for SPL. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll do our best to answer any of the questions that we can.
Or check out the hand shuffle video.
Or check out the hand shuffle video. Thank you very much. Moving from there, we're going to go into another bit of registration. The final day to register for SPL will be July 4th, as that is the final day of week 2. After week 2, unfortunately, we won't be accepting any more registrations for the upcoming season. This also means that if you haven't paid your registration fees, please make sure to do so as soon as possible. You can either ask me to send you the link again if you need it for your specific payment, or if it's still not working or you're having other issues, T will also be accepting Venmo payments to the league account. The last thing, and I'm going to go ahead and take this just to wrap it up, is as you just saw, we're going over points. We're entering everything in on a regular basis. That doesn't mean that we're not prone to mistakes, as we are human. So please, if you are noticing that there is a mistake or something that is going on with your point that you don't remember, don't account for, you can't find in the standings, what have you, reach out to me, reach out to T, reach out to Mike. We'll do our best to try to get those things corrected as soon as possible so you can go into every week knowing where you're at. Points do get updated weekly or daily. So, we try our best. Sometimes it's a little bit later at night, but we promise you we're doing everything we can to make sure that those are correct. Outside of that, guys, for Anthony,
T,
thank you for joining us, and we will see you at Locals.
Deuces.
Peace.